Well, we've been building for about 9 years, and we started out kind of with entry-level housing and been working our way up to size scale the whole time. We're geared towards high quality, good finishes in all the houses that we do, and that's very well suited for the higher end houses. We've got a lot of background in higher end quality management processes. We've picked subcontractors that share our philosophy on the quality level of the product that we build. They're just as proud of their work as what we are of our work. And that's really been the key to us being successful in the building business, because when you got somebody that all working towards a common goal, it goes a lot better. Well, I am very hands-on oriented, and at times that makes our schedule pretty stressful. But I think I'd like to think one of the friendliest contractors out there, that I try to establish a real good rapport with the homeowner right up front. And I think that's important with whoever you pick as a builder. I try to be very oriented to the homeowner's thoughts. And a lot of that, I think, comes from trying to build a house like I would live in it myself, because I look at it from the homeowner's perspective more than I look at it from the builder's perspective. We're geared towards putting in the trim and the amenities that are common in larger houses. We put a lot of crown molding in, a lot of larger baseboard, and trim work in some of the higher end details with window transoms and stuff like that. Before I ever did any building, I did some plans. I used to draw house plans for people. My neighbor was a builder, and I drew a lot of plans for him. And that helped give me a good background. I had a good teacher that taught me a lot about architectural drafting and what to look for. I started out kind of with a plainer style, and as you start looking at the product that's out there on the market and the different plan companies, there's a few that are really way beyond some of the other houses you see as far as style that they bring. The Frank Betts style house really has a lot of character that's really popular, and we like that a lot. The Donald Gardner look is really popular with some of their country look. But we've also got some designers that's a little more economical if somebody's looking for a more economical house, because those features do add some cost to your project. But overall, we look for something that's got a good curb appeal, but then when you come in, it's got a good flow. We try to get the kitchen and garage close together so that it makes it real nice bringing your groceries in and stuff like that. We look for usually a good sized laundry room, because there's so much activity in and around the laundry room, and there's never enough space in there. Those two areas really help the flow of a lot of house layouts. I've worked hard all my life. I've got a strong work ethic, and I think that really gives me advantage over some of the competition. I try to be out here on the job as much as possible. I've got a background in project management for about 20 years, and so that helps as far as breaking down the project into different phases and getting everything set up. One of our mottos is, it's your house and it's our job to build it the way you want it. We try real hard to deal with subcontractors that are quality driven. We have a good rapport with them, and they support us very well. I'm a very honest, straightforward, and upfront person, and I tried to do a lot of face-to-face communication. I think that helps a lot. Communication is very key on building a house with somebody for a custom home. The more communication you have, the more comfortable they feel. But we try to base our business practices, everything, on being very honest and build a house the way we would build it if we were going to live in it ourselves. The first thing we do before even pricing the house is sit down and sometimes spend as much as 2 or 3 hours with the homeowner. And we've got a list that we've developed over the years that really tie the specifications down tight. We try to learn a little bit about the homeowner, how they're going to live in the house, how they're going to utilize the house, and what they want and what they've had in the past that they don't like. And that gives us a tremendous feel for how the house needs to end up and how they're going to expect to live in it. I'm not real big on just throwing a price out on a per square footage basis, because I think every custom home is a product of the family that's building it. And a lot of times when I give a price to a couple, I like to sit down and have another face-to-face meeting and go through to verbalize what's in writing. And I think that helps the homeowner feel a little more comfortable versus they're getting a black and white document that defines what the house is going to be. But I think a meeting with them to review it helps soften it up and answer questions that they have. River Branch has a real good feel that we were looking for. We were looking for a good area to build a high-end house, a fairly large house, but it needed to be close to Greenville. Easy commute is one of the big things. You're right past the end of the 4-lane. It gives you easy access to whatever direction you want to go, whether it's the southern side of Greenville or heading around to the northern side or right into the heart of Greenville. It's got one of the best commutes of any of the larger house-size subdivisions around Greenville. As far as a favorite project, I don't think I really have a favorite project. Every house becomes my favorite as we're going. I'll do things a little bit different each time and a little bit different feature-wise. And it's a development process that's ever building. One of the things that I do with custom-built homes is I'll provide the client with a list of items that they need to pick during the construction process and a schedule of when they need to pick it. It gives them a definition of their role in the project, and it also gives them a timeline that they've got to work for. It eliminates the call the night before we're going to do something, wanting to know how they want it done the next day. And it gives them an opportunity to really put some thought into it at their convenience and do a little bit of looking and searching to get the stuff picked out that needs to be chosen. You'll have some homeowners that they want to go by and look at the job every couple of days and see how it's going. And then you have some that come once a week, and we try to tailor our services to match that so that the person can be just as involved or just as uninvolved as they want to be. It's kind of hard to get that right mix of the quality level that they're expecting but the low price that they want without losing the job to somebody else who will price the house lower, and in the end the quality's not there but the homeowner's stuck with it. One of my bosses that I grew up working for had a saying about quality. He was very quality driven, and it was quality is not something that can be dabbed on at the end of a project. It's got to be built in as you're going along. And we focus on that all the time. You can't go slap the house together and try and make it look good in the end and expect it to hold up. Sometimes the subcontractors, you got to get somebody to go back in there and do some work, and that ends up being a little bit of a process to try and coordinate. We have some people that work directly for us, and that gives us a little bit of flexibility of some of the stuff we can go do ourselves. And that helps us have a little more timely response on some callback issues. We've been real lucky. We don't have a lot of callbacks, and we've got a lot of satisfied customers, so I think we're doing something right.